Yo, yo. So I've seen this guy's ads pop up on my Facebook so many times, and he's killing it. Absolutely killing it. First, let me show you the ad. I think it was this one. And then we're going to have a look at his landing page. We'll script, build, and edit a high converting VSL within 24 hours, custom to your offer. Using the exact same framework we've generated $5 million with and successfully built into over 100 other high-ticket businesses in the last 6 months. A completely done for you, hands-off VSL build-out. Click the ad to learn more. Actually, fuck it. Before we go into the landing page, let's first study this ad. Because he's been running this since September, and he's still running it. And it's January 6th, so this shit is caking. And also, he actually launched a new offer with the same kind of ads, same landing page. So this is making a fuck ton of money. And this is the best way to learn the game when it comes to marketing, ads, copy, whatever the fuck. Whoever is killing it, you just rip them. You just look at their shit, learn from it, and then do the same thing for you. But this is the problem though, where a lot of people go wrong with reading copy is they focus too much on the words. And it's kind of counterintuitive, but it's not the words that are going to have the power here. It's two things. One is the psychology, and two, nobody talks about this shit, only the high level guys that I watch. It's the context of the copy. Nobody talks about the context. Everybody talks about like persuasion secrets, use this word, that word. It's all nonsense. The most important thing is the context. This is why this ad is working, because the context of it is fantastic. Let's read that first line again of this ad and think about why this guy wrote this. Really, really think about it. And then we'll talk about the psychology of it. We'll script, build, and edit a high converting VSL within 24 hours, custom to your offer. What does that actually mean? What does it mean? Let's come here, because I made this quick doc. So as I said, you got the psychology of the copy, and you got the context of it. With the psychology of it, everybody uses Nesby. It's Kyle Milligan, this famous copywriter. He came up with this, and it's great. You got new, easy, safe, and big, and then you got only, anybody, predictable, fast. We'll get onto this shit in a sec. But let's think about the context here, right? These are some of the things that you should be thinking about. What is the number one deep desire of the market? What are some of their false beliefs? What are they constantly thinking about? Are they even aware they need this product? Are they even aware they have this problem? Or do they have no fucking clue what you're talking about? Is the market currently optimistic or fearful? This is the shit that nobody thinks about and nobody does when they're writing. And this is why most copy flops. Because you might write the best piece of copy in the world. The words, they might be beautiful, fantastic. It might be perfectly written. But if the context of it makes zero sense, then it's gonna bomb. Like me, I'm half retarded and I've written some high converting shit that not only just copy, but content writing as well. Millions of views on Instagram and shit, purely because I just understood the context of the market. My writing was probably fucking subpar. It wasn't even that good. But because I understand the context of the market, it was really good. It banged. So now that I shared that with you, let's go back to that. We'll script, build, and edit a high converting VSL within 24 hours, custom to your offer. Using the exact same framework we've generated $5 million plus with and successfully built into over 100 other high ticket businesses in the last 6 months. What's the context here? We'll script, build, and edit. If you are a coach or a consultant and you're scrolling Facebook, right? He's going after you and he's writing it in this way because all of these guys need a VSL and they know it. So he can come out right out the gate and say, we'll do this for you within 24 hours. Because he knows the people that are reading this already know they want a VSL. And within the coaching and consulting and agency space, writing and recording a VSL that's actually high converting, it's very fucking hard. It's very, very hard. So this guy right out of the gate can just say, we'll do this for you within 24 hours. And then obviously he has proof, etc. We'll get onto that. But the context of the market is they all need a VSL and they know it. And it's very, very hard to find someone that will help you with a VSL because it's a very hard skill set to acquire, right? So where a lot of people, for example, would go wrong with this shit. Now, obviously, this guy is an expert at what he does, so he knows what he's doing. But let's say it was like some amateur writing this shit. They would write like some long copy with stories and all this like fancy shit, where here it's not needed. It's absolutely not needed because all of these guys want a VSL, a high converting VSL. Let's go back to that document. What is the number one deep desire of the market, right? We can't necessarily get it just from this. We can get it from the landing page for sure. But clearly it's to have a high converting VSL. That's the biggest number one deep desire, right? So let's keep reading. And by the way, with the context of the copy, as I said, you got psychology and you got the context, right? Context is going to be most potent in the copy that has the most power. So what I mean by that is the headline, the subheadline, and the initial 200 to 300 word lead. That's where the context is going to be super, super important, right? If it's a long piece of copy, like it's a 1 hour webinar or a VSL, the context fades out the longer you go, and the psychology starts to be more and more. So let me give you an example. Actually, let's actually fucking read this shit because this is where all the juice is, right? Remember when I said the context of this, that this is for warm traffic. It's not for cold. Cold traffic is people that have no idea who you are, have no idea what you do. They might not even know they have a problem. They just have no idea what the fuck is going on, right? That's where most people are. But this guy is obviously not targeting most people. He's going after coaches, consultants that already know about VSLs, that know they want a VSL, right? So the headline of this is get your high converting VSL built around your high ticket offer delivered in under 24 hours, battle tested framework. When you scroll down to the lead, remember what I told you about the context and how it's most potent in the top copy, like the headline, the lead, the subheadline, etc. Let's read this. What's included in our DFY VSL build out? The VSL script is the fastest way to get a fully converting sales funnel tailored to your agency or coaching business without lifting a finger. And then he literally goes into the context straight away. He says, because let's face it, you already know VSLs work. You've seen the $1 million months. You've heard the gurus preach VSL funnels. And you've probably even thought about creating one yourself. Now, obviously, as I said before, this guy's an expert. He knows what he's doing. But if a newbie was to do this shit, if they didn't do their research and they had no idea about the context of this market, they'll try to sell people on a VSL. They'll talk about the power of VSL and why it's so important, and this is why you need a VSL, and this is what a VSL is, and blah, 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 blah. And they'll waste so much time trying to sell the person reading this that by the time they get to the actual like powerful shit, the person would have already bounced because they already know the power of a VSL. They already know they need one, right? So straight away, this guy is addressing what's going on in the mind of the consumer. He's saying, you already know they work. You've seen the $1 million months, blah, 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 blah. But this is the problem. And then he literally goes into the problem here. But the part nobody talks about, what the hell to actually say. What should be the hook, the pain points, the proof, the close. But our VSL framework flips the script. We've eliminated months worth of testing, guesswork, and headaches. And then he goes into these bullets, the exact hook. By the way, from these bullets, what you can do is you can reverse engineer them to find out again, the context of the market. And I think Charlie Morgan has a great phrase for this: latent conditions, basically the thoughts and feelings of the market. So look, let's just do this for one of these bullets. The exact hook that stops your ideal prospects from scrolling. What can we say about the market from this one bullet alone? They struggle to catch attention from their target market on social media. Because if they want the exact hook that stops them from scrolling, their hooks are currently weak, and they're probably not getting a lot of views on social media, right? Let's pick another one. The perfect proof structure that builds unshakable trust. They might be struggling with presenting their case studies, some shit like that maybe, right? And a close so compelling they can't wait to get on the phone with you. Maybe a lot of the people reading this have no idea how to end the VSL and ask for the call at the end, right? So you can actually go ahead and flip a lot of these bullet points and think about, why is this person saying this? Why? The context, right? So that's the context shit. Then you got the psychology shit. This is the fun part. Because that's when you can just break down line by line everything and truly understand what the fuck is going on a psychological level, right? So let's do this from the ground up. You know what? It's not even just the words here, but look at this. Why is this badge here? You need to ask yourself this shit. Why did he put these pictures with these 5 stars, trusted by 300 plus founders like you? Why is that there? Because it conveys safe and predictable. And the number 300, what does that mean? See, a lot of people will stop there. They'll think, oh, this is just social proof. You know, it's trusted by 300 founders like you. That's it. Nothing else. No. It means that anybody can do this. Because if you read 300 plus founders like you, it means, holy shit, he's probably worked with a lot of different businesses. So that objection straight away of in my head thinking, okay, this guy is claiming he can create a VSL for me, but he can't do it for me because I'm in this unique market. Well, this guy literally just said he did it for 300 other people, right? So it will probably work for me as well. Anyway, get your high converting VSL built around your high ticket offer delivered in under 24 hours. So get your high converting VSL. What is that? You could probably say it's a big idea. It's big. It's wow. You know, he's talking to the deep desire of the market again. Psychology wise, it's a big idea. High converting VSO. Everybody knows it's very hard to create a high converting VSO. So this is a fresh, big idea. Built around your high ticket offer. Again, people will read this and completely disregard what he's saying here. But if he's saying built around your high ticket offer, what does that mean? Again, it means it's for anybody and everybody. It'll work for anybody because he's saying your high ticket offer. He's not saying it's for fitness. He's not saying it's for relationships. He's not saying it's for fucking, I don't know, builders. You know what I mean? Your high ticket offer. So as long as you got a high ticket offer, this will work for you. And then delivered in under 24 hours. What is that? Fast. And then battle-tested framework. See, and this is another example of these little things that a lot of people will disregard, but it's so potent because battle-tested framework means that it's predictable. It means it's battle-tested. He's done it multiple times, so it's predictable. Our team will script your VSL using our proven framework. We kind of already went through this shit. But actually, our team will script. What's that? It's easy. Our team will do it. You don't have to worry about it. Our team is going to do it. Now, initially, I was going to do these videos where I look at the copy and I watch the VSL. But some of these VSLs are like 20, 30 minutes long. So I'm going to split these into 2. I'm going to just do copy, in one video and then the VSL in another one. And then he's got all these pictures of Trustpilot reviews. Again, why are these pictures here? Because they convey it's safe, it's predictable, it's easy, anybody can do it. And then we get into this copy. So again, as I said, this is more context heavy, right? You can extract a lot of psychology from this as well, because he literally says the VSL script is the fastest. He literally uses the word fastest, which obviously is fast. A fully converting sales funnel tailored to your agency or coaching business without lifting a finger. Again, what does that mean? It's easy. And then the context. This is all very, very context heavy. Very context heavy. Talking to the deep desire of the market, their thoughts, their feelings, what's going on in their head, basically. Read this line. Because after writing VSLs for over 300 agencies and coaches. 300? What does that mean? Why is he using that specific number? Why didn't he just say, because after writing a lot of VSLs? Why is he saying, because after writing VSLs for over 300 agencies and coaches? It means that it's anybody can do it. It's predictable. I've already done it many times. You can do it too, because I've done it for 300 other people. So it's the same as the top. Remember this badge, trusted by 300 founders like you. Let's keep reading. More information is rarely the answer. The top 1% of agencies / coaches value time over everything else, which is why I'm personally going to hand you everything you need. Why did he use that phrase? I'm personally going to hand you. What does that convey? That is easy. I'm just going to give it to you. I'm going to hand it over to you. No problem. Quick. Boom, boom, boom. You know? All right, what the fuck are we? I'm lost now. Which is start converting traffic with a battle-tested, again, that phrase, battle-tested VSO framework. And once you receive your custom script, creating your VSO becomes easy, because all you have to do is follow our proven structure and boom. Again, what does this phrase, what does this short paragraph mean? It's easy. I'm just gonna give it to you. Boom, boom, and that's it. You'll be ready to launch and start converting traffic at 15 to 20% booking rates instead of the 3 to 5 most people get stuck with. This is very context heavy. It's also psychology heavy, but it is context heavy because you can reverse engineer this and find out a latent condition of the market. What is the latent condition of the market based on this? A lot of coaches and agencies are struggling with 3 to 5% booking rates. By the way, this is not only great for getting yourself to become a better marketer, copywriter, whatever the fuck. It's also a great way to do research. Because if you're targeting a similar demographic to what this guy is targeting, you can get a ton of ammunition from the top copy up here, from the headline, from the sub-headline, to the lead, which is just this copy right here. You can get a lot of ammo. You can get a lot of context about the market. You can get a lot of psychology that is currently working with them. So yeah, a little side note. And then again, which means you don't have to pay $200 to $500 for a qualified sales school that shows. It's another context of the market. A lot of the people reading this are probably spending $200 to $500 for qualified sales schools, and they don't want to be spending that much. Instead, it will be possible for you to spend $50 and convert them before someone even gets on the phone with you, which is how you'll be able to scale profitably while your competitors struggle with rising ad costs. Again, way more context. Desire, they want to scale profitably, right? A big problem they have, rising ad costs. That's going on in their heads, the person reading this, right? Yes, I want my VSL, delivered in 24 hours, 7-day refund guarantee. So that's that. That's the big thing. And probably most of the people that are purchasing this, they'll probably watch a little bit of this, read a little bit of this, and they'll buy, right? So the purpose of all of this shit now is just addressing objections. It's addressing the questions going on in the person that's in the heads of the person that are reading this. Because right after you read this, what's the first thing that comes into your mind? What am I going to get with this purchase? And that is exactly what this guy addresses. Here's exactly what you get with your DFY VSO script. And he has a nice little image here that conveys everything, another CTA. You also get instant access to some bonuses that guarantee you results. By the way, there's nice psychology here. Instant, what does that mean? It's fast. Guarantee your results. Safe, predictable, right? Then he has some bonuses here. Very nice. By the way, this is how you know that most people that buy this shit, they don't even scroll down here, because he has a headline here. How does our done for you VSL service work? And there's literally nothing here. So that's how you know. But most people don't even scroll down here. But let's see, what else does he have? So you'll notice, right? Because this is a pretty cheap product, it's $97. All the heavy lifting is the headline, is the sub-headline, is this short VSL he has here. It's all of these proof points. And again, probably this as well. And the reason why, again, going back to what I said at the start, is because this guy understands the context of the market. He knows he doesn't need to waste time selling people on the idea of VSL. He doesn't need to waste time telling stories about how he came across a VSL and how it changed his life. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to talk a lot about himself. Actually, he doesn't talk about himself at all. I think he has a short section here, right? And the reason he still has this on here, even though he probably doesn't need to have it, is because there are going to be some people that are going to be curious about this shit. And I remember I learned this from a guy called Tej Dosa. He has this framework of like, when people go onto your sales page, whatever you're selling, there's a logical step-by-step kind of process they go through, right? So first you think like, what the fuck are you trying to sell me? Then it's something along the lines of, is this going to work for me? How is this going to work for me? You know, shit like that. So a lot of people have these questions that are very logical. I forget what they are exactly, but it's something like that. And this is what a lot of successful landing pages do, is they logically kind of answer people's thoughts and questions that they have, right? So as I said here, the reason why he put this is, here's exactly what you get with your DFI VSL script. This is, by the way, this is another example of being more focused on the context of what's actually going on and not just trying to write things, basically. You know what I mean? So, for example, when you're creating a landing page, and you might be the best writer in the world, so you might be fucking amazing at writing, right? But if you're not answering people's thoughts and feelings as they're reading your landing page, it won't fucking convert, because you might be talking about something they're not even thinking about. And they'll be reading your shit and they'll be saying, this doesn't apply to me, bye. Right? So you need to logically think. A lot of people focus so much on the words, but you don't take a step back and you think, okay, what should go next? And if you're good, you'll know what should go next. And it doesn't matter if it fucking sucks. You might write some bullshit, make spelling mistakes and fucking errors, but it doesn't matter, because you make sense in the sense of you're directly addressing what they're thinking. You know what I mean? It's the same in sales, probably. I'm not that good at sales, but when you're on a sales call with someone, you might fucking stumble and say a lot and all this fucking shit. But as long as you're actually addressing what they're thinking about and you're talking to their deep desires, you'll fucking slap, right? Just like in copy, you might be shit at writing, but if you know your target, you know what the fuck is going on in terms of the context, you will do very well. And that's exactly why this guy is following this kind of logical step-by-step, right? Because when someone scrolls all the way down here and they haven't bought yet, this is why he has more testimonials here. Because at this point, people are probably thinking, oh, I need to see more proof of this working, and then I'll buy, right? then they have a question. Well, how is this actually gonna help me? And this is why he has this section, right? And then you keep scrolling, and then this is why he now has the personal section about himself. Because at this point, if you still haven't bought yet, you need to think about this. Why does he have this shit here? What's the point of it? The reason why is because this is at the bottom of the page. So if you still haven't bought yet, you don't trust this person enough. You don't have all the certainty in him for you to buy. And that's exactly why he has this. And then you keep scrolling. And then right at the end, he has an offer summary. This is exactly what you're going to get. Here's the guarantee. This is what's going to happen when you buy. Boom, boom, boom. Buy. Right? So this is the shit you need to think about. You got both the context, which I would probably say might even be more important than the psychology. And then you got the psychology. So yeah.